Everybody dreams about leaving their job, but the truth is, very few that actually do it. And the reason because it's so scary when you're leaving your job to know what's gonna happen next, right? It doesn't come with a catalog. Because that job gives you comfortability. You know every couple of weeks you're gonna get paid, and then you also are scared of the unknown. What if things don't go as planned? What if I fail? What if that side hustle doesn't work out? What if something happened that I need money and you're scared of going broke? I've been there. I was moving up in my job, was there for 8 years, I was doing really well, was making above 135K, and I worked so hard to get there. But when I got there, I realized that I do not have freedom. And freedom doesn't come from working for someone or working a job. I wanted to be able to go back to Egypt when I want to, take breaks when I want to, and work on my fortune. And I couldn't sleep till I get there. I wanted it so bad. If you're new here, my name is Omar Mohamed and I came to the US with nothing. And today I run my real estate investment portfolio and my construction business. This podcast, From Zero and a Dream, is where I share my story, bring on immigrants, entrepreneurs, and dreamers to give you real practical steps to build success. The only ask I have from you is if you enjoyed the show, please give it a review and share it with somebody that can benefit from it, who's chasing the dream. And in this episode, I'm gonna share with you how I left my full-time job after 8 years and the roadmap that you can use to do the same exact thing. When I first came to the US, I didn't know really anything. All what I knew back then is you work a job, make sure it's secure, you can move up, get a bigger position, keep climbing that ladder and make more money. And that was fine back in the time, right? I do not come from an entrepreneur family that teach you how wealth is created and how you can have freedom. And it's not all about the money. Actually, what's more important is the time. But you need money to be able to buy time. So nobody taught me that. I had to learn it on my own. So I was doing good. I was climbing the ladder. And then I realized that when time is more important and I couldn't go back, I had to figure out a way to make things happen for me and be able to be responsible for my own time and not wait for a boss to give me a promotion or things don't go my way. I couldn't agree with everything the corporate was doing. And I figure if I can put that effort in my own thing, the sky's the limit. Then real estate became my path. I found it, I learned it, and before I quit, I made sure that I have a clear plan. Not fully, you wouldn't know everything before you quit, but at least I had a plan, and I'm gonna share that with you. These are 5 steps that I follow for you to be able to quit your job safely and make sure you do it the right way. Step number 1 is build your side hustle first. I hear a lot of people just quit cold turkey, right? Okay, I'm done. Now I'm gonna start. That puts a stress on you. And if you have any responsibility, it will never work. I would always say stick to your job, find time, and start your side hustle. Plus, you also need the proof of income and proof of concept, and it will work if you work it before you leave that job. Step number 2, reduce your expenses. One of the first few things that I did is I sat down, brought pen and paper, and I looked at every single thing I spent money on. Car payment. Do I need that car? No, I don't. Let's sell the car and then buy a cheap used car for now. I saved $400. What else are you doing? Are you going to Starbucks every day? Everything that you can cut, I would say cut that, because you need to spend just what you need, especially in the beginning when you're just starting the business. So you need to make sure your expenses is not more than what you're actually bringing home. You know that you only need, okay, 3, 4, 5,000 to start. If you can start a side hustle that makes you that, you safely could quit. So step number 2 is track your expenses and know exactly how much money are you making every month and how much are you spending, and cut out those things that you do not need. Step number 3, have a cushion. What do I mean by that? So make sure even if the concept is working, and this is a great tip you're gonna love, I would say when the side hustles start bringing money, leave the W2 income on the side. Do not touch it. Start just using the side hustle to live off. If your expenses again was 5K, start only using those 5K towards your life expenses, and whatever comes from the W2, save it for now. Step number 4, profits are better than wages. What do I mean by that? Profits, you can control that, right? So if you started a side hustle, you start making money, you could increase that. So always think about that. Profits are better than wages. And step number 5, discipline over motivation, right? I did not quit my job because I was ready. I quit my job because I built a system, proven system that works, that can easily replace my W2. And here's one of the great sayings: you work full-time on your job and part-time on your fortune. It does not take that long to figure out a way. You hear people all the time, okay, I'm gonna leave my job and I'm gonna start doing that. And now I'm just creating the LLC, but I'm gonna leave my job next week. No, don't do that. Focus on the system, build a proven concept. How long it's gonna take? It's not gonna take that long, but that depends on you. How much time are you putting in? Are you sacrificing the weekends, going out with people, focusing your time? You get back from your full-time job, you're on the computer, learning, testing, running things, and it does not take that much time before you actually start seeing benefits and rewards for that work you're putting in. To know that I can have my freedom to go back, spend time with my mom, with my family, that I might not be able to get that time back. My expenses were about $5,000 a month. So I needed something to give me $5,000 a month consistently so I could leave my job. I figured in real estate or using the burst strategy, that would take years. And it would. Don't listen to these gurus that tell you, okay, you're gonna have 100 doors in a few months, burr. And again, I started with no money. I actually started with negative. I was $10,000 in debt. So what did I do is I got into real estate, and then I realized there was an opportunity there of becoming a contractor. So real estate is an investing game. It's so hard to build a portfolio and have a $5,000 or a $10,000 when you're first starting out, passive income or income coming from real estate when you're starting with nothing. So my advice is always start with a business. It can still be in real estate. So you can flip, you can do wholesaling, but start with a business or start like selling courses online, whatever it is, whatever side hustle. And we live in the greatest country in the world. We live in the best economy. We live in the United States. It's not going to take you that much time to figure it out if you really put the time. There's your passion. You start with a business, not investing, not rental. When you buy a couple rentals, it's going to take you years. I mean, that's okay for you if it's a long term, but for faster results, the side hustle should be a business, not an investment. So now that I shared some of the important things, let's dive deep in and how can you actually put this to work. So if you work in a full-time job, the first part is finding something and sticking with it. So find what are you passionate about? What do you want to do? I hear so many people all the time is like, hey, I'm going to start online marketing. A couple of weeks I meet them. I'm actually going to wholesale real estate. A few weeks after that, I'm going to go start affiliate marketing. It's just so many different ideas. You got to pick one and stick to it. There's an opportunity everywhere, right? You can make money in so many different things, but pick one and stick to it. Now that you pick that one thing that's gonna make you money, learn everything about it. There is room out there. Before I became a contractor, there was so many contractors. There's still so many. But what I did is I focused on learning really well and what gap there can I fill, right? So I found a gap in like communication with clients. I found a gap, organization or updates. People that do the work don't send updates to their clients often. I got better in these things than my competitors. I was able to ride the market. So you gotta do the same exact thing. You find your niche, you study it, you find out what the areas that you can do better and just focus on that. Now you put that in work. I wouldn't focus about having an office and spending more money outside or doing all these things that you do not need. Even start before I set up an LLC. Again, this is not a tax or a professional idea, but it's just practical ways that I did. You don't have to figure everything out before you start, but you gotta start to figure everything out. So you would jump in, see what you need to get started, and also have regular expectations. You're not gonna crush it day one you start. If you're so afraid of failing or messing up, entrepreneurship is not the right path for you. I cannot count the times that I failed in the beginning, and I still do till now, but I learn from it, improve, and go back to it better. So just know that road, there's no catalog. You're gonna do mistakes and learn from them. What skills you need to grow. So as an example, when you're first starting, so many people don't know about you. Don't be afraid to post on social media. Tell more people about it. If you're in digital marketing and you need 5K to leave, that could be 2 clients. You literally need 2 clients to make your 5K. So don't be afraid to talk to people. Go where these people are at. If you're in social media marketing as an example and you help restaurant owners get more people, get more clients, or whatever niche you're in, go to where these clients will be. Learn their needs. What are they struggling with? What value can you actually bring than anybody else? Then when you start doing there, getting your name out there, jump in. I would say forget about balance for now because you're not gonna have balance in the beginning. I didn't have balance. I was working my full-time job, coming back home, working on my business. I gained weight like crazy that time. So take care of your health then. But I knew that time is gonna be hard for me to balance because I'm focusing so much on building this. But once it started taking off, I got my first hire, right? I took that money. I still had my job. I would have probably left a while back, but it took me 2 years before I leave. And the reason is it was just everything was going well that I could have kept doing that. But the day I left my full-time corporate job and did this for full-time, my business went from making 7 to 20 to 30K. So it's very important to, once you start doing that and you have a concept, you stick to it. I did not touch my paycheck. So I was making, the money was coming from my corporate job. I was living off my side hustle and I was saving that money. That's just a proof of concept. And I did that for 6 months. So I recommend you do it for 6 months to a year. That just show you that, hey, this is sustainable. I can continue doing that. And the best part about it, when you're done, you have a bunch of money saved anyway. A friend of mine told me about that. I used it and it's great. Invest it back in your business or keep it as a cushion if anything happened. Started, it took you some time. You have a business now. You provide service or you provide a product and you have few clients. See what you did there and double that. As an example, if you went to 2 meetups or talked to 3 people and you got 1 client, you can start tracking. Okay, if you talk to 6 people, you'll get 2 clients, right? If you talk to 12, you'll get 4. So you can just replicate that. If you're on social media and you ran an ad and it convert and you can learn all these online. I had no clue when I was a W2 employee about like traffic and conversion and all that stuff. You will start learning these things. So always be willing to learn and see. Once you see how you got your clients, duplicate that, and you'll make more money. So you find a niche, you got a couple clients, you know how you can scale it. The best part after that is to build a system. The business should not just depend on you. God forbid anything happen, or you don't know what's gonna happen. If you're the only one that's doing everything forever, it's risky. So from day one, think about like, okay, if I'm the one that's doing the ads, how can I make it in a system where I can hire somebody do that for me? If I'm the one that's doing the outreach, how can I script that so when somebody comes in and I can hire them, they can do this outreach for me? So think about system. And here's a way that's very underutilized is see somebody that did it, shadow them, ask them how they would do it. If you're really passionate about building something for yourself, this is the time and the place. You live in America, the greatest country of the world, to be able to do it. So shadow somebody that did it. Go watch, be passionate about it, and it really is not that hard. So here's the truth. Quitting your job won't be easy, but it's very possible. It's about building and having a plan. Let's recap. So you start with a side hustle, one of them, you focus on it, you track your budget, see what you're spending, money come, money going out, very important. You build discipline over motivation. Don't just watch this video and just go ahead and do it. That's not gonna last long. You gotta have discipline to do it every day. Cut Saturday nights. This should become your top priority. And then don't just quit. Make sure you give yourself time to prove the concept. We hear so many people based on motivation, they leave their job and then they end up back, in a worse place than they start. So make sure you give yourself time before you quit. If you're working 8-9 hours a day, you still have 24 hours. Go home, sleep for a little bit, work out, and get back on starting this. I started making money from the first month that I did that. It wasn't enough to quit my job, but it showed me that if I can replicate that or do more of it, I can replace my W-2 income. And if you're making 5, 6, 7, 8K after taxes, it is not hard to replace that.